Last year we did a lot of species with eDNA, but we didn't find any sites with freshwater pearl mussel.
Yeah, which was concerning.
It was quite concerning. However, this year we've decided to focus in on the geographical spread of pearl mussel in the teeth. And so we've got 12 sites. eDNA, or environmental DNA, is specifically designed to look for species that are hidden. For example, you would sample the water to see if there were freshwater pearl mussels in that water.
We just have to survey a sort of top section of the water to pick up any of that DNA that's floating downstream, essentially, from any of the species that we're looking for. And it can travel quite far. Take that back to the lab and they have to do all the tests and the analysis side of things. We can cover a lot of area and not have to spend too much time looking through the bathscope at a certain section of river and piece by piece transects through that time. It should give us that information that we need to tell they're still here and we need to conserve them.
I'm always fascinated by eDNA surveying because it's such new technology in the biological monitoring sort of world.
Yeah, and you can actually tell pretty accurately which species are in the environment that you're surveying. However, it doesn't tell you about the population of the species that you're looking at, so you don't know how many or the age structure, that sort of thing. And age structure is very important whenever you're looking at extinctions.
There's still freshwater pearl mussel poaching going on. I know that up north they had a bailiff who was specifically investigating freshwater pearl mussel poaching. It's important that whoever's going out surveying for them understand those risks and understand what not to do so that the population isn't damaged.
Now, I believe June is the best time of year for pearl mussel surveying because they're putting the maximum amount of DNA out into their environment. The glaucidia, or the larvae, get released.
They sort of float away from the population and latch on to a salmonid, and the gills is what they're looking for. So they need that sort of oxygen that the salmon are taking in. So it's all part of the life cycle.
And then they will drop off into the substrate, and it takes another 10 or 15 years in the substrate before the generation will be able to reproduce.
I think in Scotland, or the higher latitudes in the northern hemisphere, they can grow anywhere up to 120 years.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Which is mad.
Very long-lived. It's a bit mad. And the thing with species that are very long-lived and take a very long time to reach sexual maturity, these are the most vulnerable to going extinct. And I expect there'd be a lot of people would be very concerned if the freshwater pearl mussels die out.
It highlights, the importance of salmonids as well in the whole ecosystem. It's one of the reasons why we need to do everything that we can to protect salmon and trout in the catchments. Because if you lose those species, then you're going to lose pearl mussels, but also probably tons of other species that rely on them for food source and everything else.
Absolutely.